Hi, this is Attorney Bennett Cunningham, and welcome to my bankruptcy blog. Today, I want to talk about just a variety of issues. The first one is foreclosures. Every client, without exception, who comes into this office talks about losing their home. And in a foreclosure, it's a serious matter because many people come in and they're already losing their home or they're about to lose their home. And lately, I've been getting people coming in going, you know what? I'm about to lose my home, but I want to give the bank another chance. I'm going to do a home modification. But let me ask you this. How many times does your bank give you a second chance? I mean, banks are popping up faster than Starbucks and gas stations around my area here in Dallas, Texas. And it's important to realize this because a lot of people who are coming in to my office regarding foreclosures are upside down. And what that means is, let's say you have a home and it's worth 100 grand. So you're up here. On your very best day, a real estate agent's going to be able to sell that home for maybe 70. That means you have $30,000 in negative equity. So who's going to make up that $30,000, especially if you have a home equity loan? The bank could come after you for the home equity loan. And normally they don't even bother with the first mortgage, which is the $30,000. But if there's a home equity loan in there, you're in big trouble. You got to deal with that. And you need a bankruptcy lawyer to do it, or a lawyer to do it. And I tell them, you know how long it's going to take you to catch up from 70 to 100 just to break even, just to get up there? It's going to be a long time. So I tell a lot of people, why even bother? Why just give the house back to the bank? It's not like you're not going to be able to get another house. In the state of Texas, you got 10 days once you file for bankruptcy to get that car back if it's been repossessed. So if it's on the 1st, let's say, of January, 10 days later you file for bankruptcy, you may be able to get that car back from the people who repossessed it. In a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which is that payment plan type bankruptcy, you can then pay the money which you owed, the reason why they probably repossessed your car, back into your bankruptcy and end up keeping your car. Lately, a lot of people have gone back to school, which brings up the question, are student loans dischargeable in bankruptcy? The short answer is, asterisk, no. But there is an exception, hardship. And hardship's very difficult to prove. Your bankruptcy lawyer would go to court or file necessary paperwork to show the court that there is a hardship. It could be a medical hardship, it could be a family hardship, but it's really got to be extraordinary. And again, if you just took out a loan and it happens that you have a hardship, it may not look as good to the court as if you've paid off 90% of the loan and now you're stuck with the last $5,000 or $10,000. So that's just something to think about. Short answer, no, but if there's a hardship, the answer could be yes. Another question I get asked is, how much does bankruptcy cost to file? Well, different lawyers charge different amounts. There are caps in certain districts on how much lawyers can charge for different chapters of the bankruptcy code. For example, in our district, in the Northern District here in the Dallas area, the cap is $3,000 for a Chapter 13, but on a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which is the liquidation type bankruptcy, it's not really capped, but it has to be reasonable. Also, there's a filing fee that you have to pay. There is one little hitch about this. You can get it waived in very rare circumstances. I've had it done once. And in other situations, you can pay it in installments. So even though the legal fee in and of itself may be a lot, and then you're stuck all of a sudden with, oh my goodness, now I have to pay to file it. A lot of times if you ask your bankruptcy attorney, or I offer it, it can be paid in installments directly through the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, or if you're below the poverty line, in some cases, and again, I've had it done once, the court will waive the bankruptcy fee. And it's considerable. It's nearly $300. Another question I get asked quite frequently is, can I exempt my entire homestead or house from bankruptcy? The answer is yes, but it depends which scheme you're using. In the state of Texas, you can either use the federal scheme or the Texas scheme. And the differences are quite intricate, but basically in Texas, you can exempt your entire homestead from bankruptcy. And what that means is that when you file for bankruptcy, the trustee puts his arms around your entire world, your entire estate. And he's looking for stuff, he or she's looking for stuff within this circle that he's surrounded to pay off debt. Well, anything that's exempt under the law, he can't touch. And if you use the Texas scheme to file, then he takes the house out, that's no longer in the circle, so he can't touch it. That's what an exemption is, and that's what a homestead exemption is. He takes your entire house. Now, under the federal scheme, your entire house in that circle is not exempt from bankruptcy. So he can maybe sell that house and take part of the equity, and you keep part of the equity. But here's the key. Depending on which way you file, you need to talk to a bankruptcy attorney, because if you have a lot of cash around, in Texas doesn't exempt cash in that circle. So if you got $10,000 sitting in the savings bank, if you file under the Texas exemptions, you may be able to keep your house, but that cash is going to be taken by the trustee. That's not exempt. On the federal side, although the house may not be entirely exempt under certain circumstances, that cash can be exempt up to certain amounts. So that's just one very small example of why you really need to decide which scheme you're going, either the Texas scheme or the federal scheme, when you sit down with your bankruptcy attorney. So there are benefits to both. So yes, in Texas we do have a 100% homestead exemption, but you may not want to use it depending on other circumstances that's in your financial picture. Thanks for joining me. I'll answer some more questions next week. If you have any questions, you can always email me at bennett@bcunninghamlaw.com. Thank you.